first trophy final in the clash between the two Bayside teams as leaders at the end of the first round. It's a lovely day for football and just as pleasant for spectators sunning themselves in the outer. And it should be a worthy final between these two evenly matched teams. Let's have a look at the two sides. Redcliffe firstly, and they have Artie Beetson back in the pack, but this time in the second row. It's a new look back line with Bunny Pearce dropped and Steve Bax at fullback. Chris Close withdrawing, replaced by the veteran Peter Leese, who teams with Steve Cherry in the centres. The youngsters Nat Lohman and Ron Watson on the wings, and Trevor Benson and Colin Part of the halves. The Wynnum Manly team is weakened, of course, by the loss of the injured Des Morris. His place goes to Mark Zillman, and Gary Seaton takes over the captaincy. Otherwise, it's the same team that lost to Easts last week. The referee is Eddie Ward. To my mind, the absence of Des Morris is the most important factor in today's game. His leadership and clever ball distribution always seem to inspire the Seagulls, and this was especially noticeable when he went off last week against Easts. Although DJ himself insists that Wynnum aren't a one-man team, they're going to find it difficult without his leadership around the rucks, especially as this is where Beetson is so strong. The last time these teams met, Wynnum scored 3 tries in 5 minutes to race to a 15-0 lead, but Redcliffe came back in the second half and eventually went down 20-16. In that match, Artie Beetson was sidelined with injury, but he'll be back today with the added incentive of possible selection in the Australian team to be announced tonight. What's more, he has a well-balanced pack with a strong front row, a runner in Vic Ty, and the tireless lock, Chris Holmes.
Goes for the try down the blind side. He's got support with Holmes, and Holmes will go over in the corner, yes.
Most people are saying that this match boils down to one single factor, that Redcliffe have Beetson on the field and Wynnum don't have Morris. But to my mind, there's much more to it than that. I like the teamwork that's been developed by the Seagulls this season. And although there's a lot of talent in that Redcliffe side, I feel that there might be a little inexperience and lack of cohesion in the back line. So I'm tipping the Seagulls to win in a close, hard match. But what about you, Dave?
Well, Peter, looking at the respective sides, I see Redcliffe with their strength in the forwards, and interesting to see that Beetson returns to Redcliffe for the first time since the 16th of May. Wynnum Manly certainly have their firepower in the back line, but their forwards just seem to me to lose that little bit of solidarity and variation without Dowling and Morris in the side. Redcliffe's game plan, well, it must be to turn Tony Camburis back inside as often as they can, but that's not an easy task because Camburis does adopt a pass the ball at all costs attitude. Wynnum Manly to contain the Beetson runners, that must be their game plan. However, it's always easier to capitalise on a forward strength. Finals are won in the forward, so I expect Redcliffe to win it and win it well.
Wynnum Manly's Gary Seaton has had captaincy experience before, but he's taking on a big job today, replacing Des Morris. Is he confident?
The only captaincy I have had, Peter, is once I was down in Tamworth City when I played Bush League there for, I'd say, 12 months ago. But to fill Des's job is a pretty big job, and I think it'll take everybody's effort to actually do the job.
Redcliffe's fullback Steve Bax has a big job also today, taking over from Bunny Pearce as both fullback and goal kicker. How does he feel about this big test?
Well, from where I come from, Mount Isa, I played mainly fullback, and I used to kick there. And last year I wasn't kicking when I was playing on the wing A grade because Bunny was doing all the kicking, but this year in reserve grade I had the chance to kick, and I've been hitting a few, so I feel like I'll hit them all right today too.
A fine sunny day at Lang Park. Referee Ward blows the whistle, and there's the first kick of the game. It goes down to the quarter line, taken by Cole Scott, and that's the Redcliffe side coming up like tigers in defence. They were very keyed up in the dressing room, I noticed, especially Arthur Beetson. But the Wynnum Manly side, on the other hand, seemed fairly composed about it all. It's the skipper of the Wynnum Manly side, Seaton. He's been hit fairly hard in that tackle. They've got the penalty too, but a lot of pressure on Gary Seaton today. Miles' kick. And let's see how Wynnum Manly organise themselves in the rucks. You'll see this big fellow, Mark Zillman. He's the replacement for Des Morris, a former Valley's A-grade prop forward. Had a car accident a couple of years ago and was out of football for a while. It's Tank Duncan in the headgear, and some good play by Wynnum Manly, with French taking the ball about 15 metres inside Redcliffe's territory. Green it is. From Camburis out to Saunders. Saunders has slipped one tackle. Didn't throw the pass. It would have gone forward had he thrown it. And Wynnum Manly looking very fast and well organised at this stage. Camburis' kick is touched by a Redcliffe player. Rebounds fortunately into the hands of a teammate. And so it's play on. Wynnum Manly in possession. Green to play it. He's hurt. Scott, Saunders. That's Bullock. Let's watch this Redcliffe defence. They mean business. They move up very hard. Camburis, the bomb. Now French is offside.
He was in front of the kicker, and the ball's been lost anyway. And play on, says the referee. That's a try. But I maintain the French was offside. He was definitely in front of the kicker as that bomb was put up. Let's go back and see the replay, but it's 3-0.
French certainly in front of the kicker, but once Bax had fumbled the ball, that put him onside. French had to stay at least 5 metres away from Bax. There's French, the Wynnum Manly player out the front. He allows Bax to take the ball. Then Bax loses. Everyone on at that moment. Here comes Butler through, sorry, and he dived.
So you were right there, Dave. It wasn't an offside because he remained outside the 5 metres. Terry Butler scoring the try, and here's the conversion attempt by Scott. Yes, it's a good one, but as it dropped under the bar. 3-0. Steve Bax restarts. It's a nice high kick. Seaton calls for it. Ooh, high tackle from Terry Webb, but allowed to go on. Duncan. A special scrum cap, I suppose you'd call it, or headgear that was designed especially for him by the Steeden Company. Saunders. It's French. Some fiery defence from Redcliffe. Camberus using the tactical kick a couple of times early in the game. That's forced Bax right back to the quarter. Took that well. Butler comes to him. So does Camberus, and over the top was Seaton.
An absolute dream penalty there going to Redcliffe, but an absolute dream start here for Wynnum Manly. They've done everything right so far. Redcliffe very keen in defence, but possibly a little bit over anxious at times, given a couple of half gaps to Wynnum Manly. Wynnum Manly have generally gone forward on most occasions, and really that's put Redcliffe just on the back foot and certainly unsettled them. Interesting to see Terry Webb wearing number 9. He's playing in the front row, and I would suggest there that Beatson couldn't fit into the number 9 jersey and has had to wear the number 11.
It's Terry Webb coming up, chasing his teammate Bobby Jones, who's in possession. Now it's Webb at the dummy half, just over halfway. Steve Bullow, former state prop forward, has made a great comeback as loose head prop forward in this Redcliffe A-grade side. That's Beatson. Good pass. Finds Webb, the runner. Tackled by French. With help from Zillman. Holmes. Part. Bad pass to Benson. And in the centres it's been dropped. The knock on to be played. Steve Cherry, who's normally got such good hands at 5'8", playing out of position today in the centres. So the penalty going Redcliffe's way, and a punch being thrown. Green retaliating. Referee Ward has spotted it, moved in quickly. And Green has been called out for a little lecture.
Players obviously fired up for this match, a very important one, the Woolies Trophy final. You never get another chance to win the 1981 Woolies Trophy, and it's whilst there's 2 premiership points, it's a once only to get your name on the inaugural cup.
Of course, Valleys won the Woolies pre-season final when they defeated Souths. Those 2 teams down in the middle of the competition at the moment. Jones, Bullow. So Redcliffe in the attacking zone for the first time. From Jones to Part. Runs past Beatson. Beatson with his hands casually on his hips took the pass. Webb. Little kick through for Terry Webb. He could score out of him himself, but Colin Scott has too much pace.
Scott there forced to just tap the ball over the dead ball line, and thereby giving away a goal line dropout rather than a 22-metre tap, because the ball was just dribbling a little bit too slowly for him. Webb flying through onto it and forcing Scott to take the ball dead.
Gene Miles to drop out from the quarter line. From the goal line, I should say. It's a good long one. Down to Steve Bax, the former Mount Isa fullback. Played wing last season in A-grade. Part. Ty. Jones. Part. Beatson. Spots a bit of open space, and away goes Big Artie. It's a good ground gain. It's the quarter line, only 2 metres ahead of him. Colin Part. Little chip. It's not a good one. Off the side of the boot. Straight to Butler. And Terry Butler, the try scorer, saves the day for Wynnum Manly, just as Redcliffe were looking a bit dangerous. Duncan. Zillman. Mark Zillman plays it back from Green to Saunders. Seaton. Owen Beatson over the top. Almost collected. The head of Gary Seaton. Camburus. Duncan. Good pass. Puts Miles into the clear. He's got it away to Minns. Minns too much pace for Nat Lohman, but caught by Backs. 10 metres inside Redcliffe's half penalty. Didn't get off the man playing the ball. Chris Holmes.
Much of a game we find Wynnum Manly finding those half breaks, and they're not missing Des Morris at this stage, because Ray Duncan there slipping a beautiful little pass to put Miles down that blind side. Redcliffe really over anxious in their tackling and just not settling themselves down and waiting for the attack to come. They're just moving up a little bit too quickly and not in that perfect straight line.
Duncan. Scott. Did well to get the pass away, keeping it alive. That's Saunders. Had a big game last week against East. He had the flu then, but he's quite fit now. From Green to Camburus. Miles. Miles has slipped inside his man. Backs eventually upends the big centre from Townsville. Gene Miles. 15 metres out. Seaton showing it to one player, French. Out to Butler. Slips inside Watson's tackle. Back it comes through Zillman. Saunders, Camburus. Relentless attack from the Seagulls. Saunders. Duncan. Oh, beautiful pass to Colin Scott on the burst. He's broken 3 tackles. He's got support. Can't slip the pass. David Green was unmarked with a big gap in front. But still a chance for Wynnum Manly. Mark Zillman. 1 to go. Camburus. Saunders. On the burst is Miles. He's got it back to Bullock, and Bullock will score. He's in. Second try to Wynnum Manly. And what good lead up it was.
Great work, Wynnum. They're really running hard and straight onto the ball, looking for support at every occasion. Interesting to see here, that's twice that we've seen Camburus inside Saunders in a general play. There's Camburus, Saunders on the outside, moves the ball out to Miles, and he's going really flat out, looks for support, and there's Bullock really flying onto it, goes through one tackle, enough momentum to get him across for a great try.
Colin Scott taking his time about this kick. He's kicked 51 goals this season, but he's missed 2 in this match so far. 6-0. So memories come back of that first round clash when from the 10th to the 15th minute Wynnum scored 3 tries, but full marks to Terry Webb. He's got the ball back for his side. Beatson, Part, Benson, Cherry. ...15 metres inside Wynnum's half. That's Bullow. Penalty Redcliffe.
Wynnum Manly inside the 5 metres, a little bit over anxious in moving up. Bullow wrapping well around that blind side and really forced the Wynnum Manly defence to really stand their ground.
Terry Webb, the kicker, won't go for too much distance with this one. Close to the sideline. Just inside the quarter now. Let's see what Redcliffe can do if they can settle down, play better team football. Beatson slipped it back to Webb. It's caught by Seaton. Beatson. Benson. Nice little step. Couldn't make the outside break again, having gone initially inside. For Beatson. Long pass intercepted. David Green was sweating on him. So was Saunders. And Saunders has got it. No, it's Green. It was right the first time. Scott. Well, if you think back to that previous clash between these two sides, Camburus got an intercept and ran 70 metres. That was a fairly high tackle too from Terry Webb, but legal. From Jones, it was on Bullock. French. So Redcliffe no doubt will be very keen not to throw those long passes and get intercepts again. Miles' kick. It's a long one. And it's out in the full. It's too long. Gene Miles has a big, prodigious boot, but that time just didn't look where he was kicking it before he placed it. Oh, knocked on by Colin Part. Well, there was a tremendous reserve grade game here, and Greg Oliphant played as much a starring role as any of the team, and Redcliffe's win 23-18 to maintain the lead and their undefeated record for Redcliffe reserve grade. Worthy of an A-grade match it was. In this match, it's 6-0 to Wynnum Manly. Duncan. Seaton. Very good ball distributor, Gary Seaton. He's played half-back before and just about every position in the scrum. It's Zillman. Saunders, he's knocked that back. Play on. Last tackle. Duncan. So that's the scrum on the Wynnum Manly quarter line.
Interesting to see here Redcliffe standing deep from the scrum, and it's not very often we see it these days that an attacking side, even in this position, elects to stand deep.
Redcliffe have got it. Colin Part has been got by Duncan. Holmes. Jones. Part. Webb. Beatson. Vic Ty's lost it, and it's knocked on also by Wayne Bullock.
Well, Redcliffe making too many mistakes. They, from memory, have yet to hold the ball for 6 tackles. They're just trying a little bit too hard. They do better to settle their play and keep things a little bit tidier.
So Redcliffe can't kick directly for goal. So they take the tap, and Colin Part slips over. Jones, Beatson. Nice pass to Vic Ty. He's beaten the tackle of Duncan. He's a strong runner, is Vic Ty, the former winger, converted to second row. Now Holmes wants to wrap around Colin Part. He's in fact used him as a shepherd, quite legally. Benson, Webb, Beatson, Part. Oh, last-ditch defence. A good tackle made over the top by David Green. Holmes, Webb, Cherry's in. Now that try was set up by a player coming up too quickly, and that's levelled the scores almost at 6-3.
And it was Gene Miles, Peter, on that left-hand side of the ruck. He elected to really move up fast. He was in trouble. That's him at the top of the screen. Watch him move quickly here from the play the ball. Thought he was going to be able to cut the pass out. Wasn't able to do so. Webb does well to pop the pass out to Cherry. Cherry goes straight and hard. That's all he had to do to score the try.
First scorers are 2 Butler and 3 Cherry. And this is Steve Backs. He's hit that well. Oh, what a great goal. 6-5 to Wynnum Manly. Colin Scott to restart. It was a great goal by Steve Backs, who hasn't had much first-grade experience this year. Ty has knocked that forward, Wynnum Manly's advantage, and they do get the advantage through the possession, but then they lose it by the knock-on. It was Terry Butler.
And both sides electing to use the high kick-off and attempting to regain possession, showing the importance both sides place on possession in this match.
And the referee wanting this scrum set exactly where it is, and the ball to go in the tunnel. There wasn't much of one there, but still, let's play on with Colin Part in possession. That's Holmes. Scored 2 tries against Wynnum in the first round. In the second half comeback when they went down 20-16. Beatson. Nice inroad made by Arthur Beatson. He was looking and looking for a runner. No one came. Colin Part, like Quicksilver with that sidestep, but can't penetrate. He's 11 metres inside Wynnum's half. Beatson again. Picked it up well. Knocked on. No advantage. So it'll be called back for the scrum. Notice how many times Wynnum are going for the intercept, Dave.
Yeah, and they're both times off Beatson there, not including that last try, but Beatson will have to be a little bit careful. Possibly his support's not quite close as he'd like them to be, and that's just stretching the passes a little bit. Wynnum Manly reading the play quite well.
Chris Holmes, the boy from Theodore. He's been in great form all season. 32 metres out from the Wynnum line. 1 point the difference. Wynnum Manly leading. Vic Ty. Some clever ball play there between the second rowers, Vic Ty and Terry Webb, who's wearing number 9. Beatson, who's wearing 11, but is in the second row. And because of the good defence, the ball has been jolted out of the hands of Holmes, but the referee said play on. Part, Benson, Cherry. One to go. Colin Part made the half gap for Cherry. He's got support outside his break and 1 tackle, and eventually goes to ground only 3 metres out.
Possibly the only criticism of Stephen Cherry in the matches I've seen him this year. He tends to hang on that little bit too long. Made good ground then. It's hard to criticise him for making a good break as he did then. but the support was there a couple of times, and he elected to continue on his own.
Referee wants that ball in the scrum again, and it's a clean strike by David Green to French. Duncan. Oh, high tackle, but legal underneath the chin by Vic Ty. Neil Moy back to Green, a flat pass to Scott, and Butler was in front of him, so he couldn't pass. Good defence from Redcliffe at this stage. That's Bullock. Green. The kick by Miles under pressure has gone past Nat Lohman, the youngster. 19-year-old Wingham Nat Lohman has
Touched
Judge on, yes.
Harry Min certainly came in late once Lohman had hit the ground.
I wonder if there are any Australian selectors watching today.
See, Peter, there's not all the Australian selectors have gone to Sydney this weekend to watch solely the Sydney matches. It's really an amazing situation where we've got players in line for an Australian Guernsey. The side is picked tonight, and not one Australian selector here in Brisbane to watch the matches.
The Greek god, Tony Camburis. And he's taken play some 20 metres inside Redcliffe's half. So let's see if Wynnum Manly can attack. Duncan. Green. Oh, a high tackle too by Jones. That's a penalty. Jones is going to be called out. That one really hurt Silman. Let's go back and have a look at that tackle again. They've gone perilously close a couple of other times, but that one was high, and he's going to be sent off, I think. Yes, he's gone.
Let's have a look at it again if we can, because there's the kick from Camburis. That put the ball into touch. And we had Duncan took the next ruck, I think it was. There's Duncan. That was Jones on the first tackle. Now it's the subsequent tackle from this ruck. There's Bob Jones leaving the field. He's in amazement, but certainly a high tackle is a... here's the subject tackle. There goes Jones in high. Down goes the Wynnum Manly player. And I think Bob Jones possibly a little bit unlucky to get sent off on that occasion.
Well, although there's only 1 point the difference at half-time, I feel that Wynnum Manly have been the better side in the first half, and this is vindicated by the statistics that Redcliffe have made 13 errors to Wynnum's 6, and Redcliffe have only held the ball once in the first half for 6 tackles, whereas Wynnum have held it for 5 times. But the loss of their hooker, Bob Jones, in the 30th minute is going to be a severe handicap to Redcliffe in the second half, I don't.
Certainly very hard, Peter, because Wynnum Manly are playing an open style of football, and that's going to really put Redcliffe under a lot of pressure. But Wynnum started at a cracking pace. The first 2 tries coming up in the first 10 minutes of the match and looked very good. Then they relaxed again, and this is a problem that Des Morris has got, that they don't seem to be able to sustain a wholehearted effort. And really it's been Redcliffe errors and unforced errors that have let them down, rather than really punishing Wynnum Manly defence on the goal line. Players so far to impress, I thought, for Redcliffe. Benson and Pard have looked quite good at times. Beetson and Terry Webb. Webb has worked in Beetson's shadow a lot of the time. Beetson making a couple of those errors though, but has looked constructed most of the time. For Wynnum Manly, once again, Colin Scott dangerous. Gene Miles also. And I think French and Bullock have run hard, with Ray Duncan setting up some good passes. But with 12 men, Redcliffe in trouble in the second half.
Green. Duncan. Saunders. Camburis. Shows it to one and gives it to Seaton. 5 minutes gone, second half. Wynnum Manly 6, Redcliffe 5. Camburis. French. Now this pressure should start to tell a little on Redcliffe if they can't retain possession, being 1 man down. The last tackle coming up, and Miles, I feel, should have passed the ball quickly, but he shrugged off a couple of tacklers. But don't you agree, Dave, if Wynnum Manly can stretch the Redcliffe defence and make them run further to cover that extra man?
It must eventually wear Redcliffe down. Quite a good performance there for Redcliffe, though, to hold Wynnum Manly. And Gene Miles seemed to be a much improved player, a more confident player, should I say, after his state debut. He seems to run with more aggression and with the ability now to shrug off tackles.
Saunders, he's got plenty of pace, this little fellow. They won't catch him, I don't think. Being chased by Colin Part, but no, there's Saunders in again. And what a great little try scorer this fellow is. He's the leading try scorer this season now with 9 tries, equal with Larry Brigginshaw. In fact, his 10th, that is, and so he's the leader.
And you can't hold off Terry Saunders at the base of the scrum. The ball fed here by Colin Part. Comes out to Saunders and he elects to run wide, and they just hold off him. There's Part expecting Vic Ty to make the tackle. Ty can't quite get to him, and Saunders enough pace then to run the 22 metres. Part shadowing him on the inside, but he was never going to catch him, and Saunders across for one of the tries we expect from him from the base of the scrum.
He seems to be able to ferret his way through there most times, but not this time. And it's a penalty. They wouldn't let him get up. Colin Part at fault. A tap kick taken and a barging run for the line. He's over the line, but is it a try? No.
Short. No try.
Green. Yes, it was a try. Well, at first I didn't see him signal it, but David Green. This is where Redcliffe need to really concentrate. Another try here and it'd be curtains for the Dolphins. Camberus. Zillman. 12-5 to score. Wynnum Manly's way. 13 minutes gone. Second half. Seaton. Scott has had a little bo peep at the tackler and put it down.
Scrums in the second half favouring Wynnum Manly 4-1 and 7 all overall now. So Wynnum Manly having this possession in the second half, and very hard for Redcliffe with 12 men.
Watch Saunders from here if he gets it, but he doesn't. It's a penalty to Redcliffe.
Wynnum Manly collapsing the scrum.
Bob Abbott and David Green having a bit of a set too. They take the tap. Lease, Cherry, Benson, Lohman. Trevor Benson goes on his own. Straight into Harry Mills. And Neil Moy over the top for good measure. Lohman. Beatson. Webb. Part. Lease. Benson. Or Backs. Watson. Nowhere to go. And plenty of cover defence for young Ron Watson. The boys from Sherbrooke. Playing his first year with Redcliffe.
Wynnum Manly just seemed to have that edge of pace on Redcliffe, because they did move the ball out wide well then. Found the overlap, but the cover defence was so good that Redcliffe still didn't gain the full advantage of it. But Watson, bad play really. You don't run out on your own halfway line when possession's so important to you and when you've got no chance of scoring a try.
Cherry making a nice bust. If he'd had a support there on his right, it could have been a clean break. It's Abbott. His brother Hubie is liaison officer for the Frenchmen on their Australian tour. This is Backs. Beatson. He finds a runner in Benson. Fends one aside. Good determined run from Trevor Benson. 10 metres out from the line, struggling to get up like a fish on a hook. Part. Oh, and it's gone straight through the hands of Terry Webb. Towed ahead by Colin Scott. Butler has it. How Scott missed that pass, you'll never know. Scott again. Oh, and a kick there by Webb. This could be another send-off. There was a kick by Terry Webb onto Colin Scott. Let's go back and have a look at that again. That was a nasty incident.
Silly play there, obviously initiated by something. It's hard to say from this distance what it was. Here's Scott going from dummy half. And as hard and fast as he can. That's Cherry over the top. There's Terry Webb coming in to assist number 9. Scott goes to ground. There's Scott lashing out first of all, and Terry Webb returns.
And so now Terry Webb has been sent off to join Bob Jones on the bench.
And often we see it happen where the player that retaliates is the one that pays the penalty.
Terry Webb sent off. 17 minutes into the second half. So 2 players off for Redcliffe, and that really sets the seal on their defeat.
And hopefully the touch judge has reported the full incident there. Very important that he should have, Les Sainsbury should have reported the full incident. And now we're having a little bit more of a discussion here with the referee, David Green, coming into it, which is surprising.
Just to clarify, let's have a look at it again. You can see that Colin Scott takes the ball up here. He's tackled. Terry Webb's the man over the top. And when he goes down to the ground, Colin Scott wants to get up, so he lashes out with his boot. You'll see his boot fly up and hit Terry Webb in the stomach. Now, so that's what provoked Terry Webb into that kicking. So back on the game, and that's Duncan. Wynnum Manly leading 12-5. And against 11 men, they should win easily. There's almost another kick connecting, although an unintentional one from Chris Holmes to Tony Camburus on the halfway line. Bullock.
It's to be hoped now that the game doesn't get any spiteful incidents in it, because Redcliffe obviously will be upset and fired up over this, and they still do well to play football.
Ooh, Bob Abbott going headhunting there. He just took David Green out of the play a little bit late. And you can see the spite coming into the tackles now. Duncan to the blind side, gets it away to Seaton, who gets it out wide. Beatson across there to stop Gene Miles. Last tackle now. Saunders, Camburus, Scott. And that'll be a scrum. Do you give Redcliffe any chance now? 2 men down?
Nil. There's no chance now, Peter. It's amazing, really. Wynnum Manly scored 4 tries to only 1, but they only lead by 7 points. Redcliffe being forced now to pack a 3-man scrum. Penalty going to Redcliffe, but really it's not going to be much help. Beatson down in that heavy charge from the scrum, and David Green gaining a caution.
Well, Green has been cautioned before. He is sent off to the sin bin for repeated infringements. Now he could be sent off altogether. Captain Gary Seaton having a little talk to Green and to the referee, and Beatson's still down. It's a hard game, Arthur. Looks like he might have a cramp or something. Oh, it's a cork thigh, I'd say. So the play goes on, although Beatson still down.
Eddie Ward has stopped play once again. I'd say Beatson's going to have trouble continuing with the cork thigh and maybe need to be replaced.
Very painful injury that is. But how many times has Beatson been in that situation before and kept on?
A crippling injury it actually is, cork thigh. It's a bruise that bleeds profusely on the inside and stiffens the leg up and almost makes it impossible to run. The danger, of course, is if you get another knock on that leg, it can really make it severe.
Abbott. It's like the Athenians against the Persians now. There's not many of those red jerseys left. And what is left, some of them are walking wounded. 12-5 the score, 20 minutes to go in the second half of this Woolies Trophy final. 4 tries to 1 have been scored by Wynnum Manly. Abbott. Beatson hobbling along behind him, trying to catch him. Cherry, Beatson. Slipped it beautifully away to Ty. On the inside is Backs. Oh, and it's over the head of Holmes. Knocked on by Seaton. And so it comes back into the hands of Backs again, but 2 knock-ons equal a scrum.
Good work from Redcliffe to gain that overlap. Good work from Beatson. Beatson realises if they can get a try, and it's the only way that really Redcliffe could even get halfway lifted up to come back. There's only 7 points in it. A very important scrum.
3 against 5 in the scrum. And the 3 win it. Colin Part. Nat Lohman at dummy half. Beatson positioning himself at the pivot position. Holds up the pass, finds Holmes. That's Abbott. 10 metres out. Cherry. Beatson again, still involving himself in the thick of things. Gets it back to Holmes. Cherry again. He has a go himself. Cut down round the ankles. Good tackle by French. Holmes, Lohman. Lohman's held, 1 to go. Abbott, Part, Beatson, tried the quick pass, knocked off the hands of a Wynnum player, back to Part, knocked on again by Wynnum Manly, and so eventually a scrum.
Redcliffe continuing to make the mistakes close to the Wynnum Manly line, and they've seen a number of scoring opportunities go astray this afternoon.
Three-man scrum again, this time won by Wynnum. Saunders. Now Wynnum will be looking for a quick play of the ball, clearing the ball wide out to the wings and outflanking this Redcliffe defence. Here they go. Out to Scott. And Beatson in there again. You've got to admire the man. Bullock. Camberus. Green at dummy half. Duncan. Zillman calling that he wants the ball this time for this ruck. He gets it too. Straight up the centre. That'll really test the Redcliffe defence. A couple of those bruising runs up the ruck and then spin it wide. It goes to Camberus. He's kicked it down to Watson's wing and it's beaten him. Tippy towing on the sideline. He's kept it infield. Oh, and again Butler's got him. Backs. Butler and Camberus, the tacklers. Beatson. Neat pass to the blind side and Vic Ty. Part. Watson. Beatson. Holmes couldn't take the ball. Straight over his shoulder. Back to Part, then to Backs. Caught by French. Beatson again. Oh, lovely pass to Ron Watson. He's fended a couple away. Has he got the pace? He might outstrip everyone, but Butler's come to him. He stepped him. It was Saunders who got there eventually. So still the chance for Redcliffe with a little chip by Cherry. Taken cool as you like by Gene Miles.
You must admire this Redcliffe effort. They're not giving in and they're finding gaps in the Wynnum Manly defence.
Moy. Can he position his winger Butler? He's stepped inside the tackle of Holmes. No, he hasn't. Got the ball back inside, forward. Offside. Neil Moy.
The crowd in line with it, not particularly agreeing with Eddie Ward's decision there. A close one, of course. And Redcliffe allowed off the hook. Now they must get in a position now, watch their passes and attempt to get across this line.
Backs boots it into touch. Taking play inside the Wynnum Manly quarter. 12-5 the score. Converted try would make it 12-10. So Redcliffe not out of it yet. Bobby Abbott. Cart. Beatson. Benson. There's the runner. He's found Backs, and Backs goes over underneath the post. That's the try they wanted.
Oh, yes, great work, and little Benson has had a good game. He's a very impressive young player, Benson, and he does well here. He does a little bit of a step, then gets his hands clear. There's not a lot of him either, and good work from Benson. Here he is off the edge of the ruck, nothing much on, has to go himself. There's the step, runs with real purpose, back out again. That's really good work, good stuff, and Backs calls the ball well, positions himself very nicely, and he runs across unopposed to put Redcliffe right back in the match in an amazing situation.
Conference behind the goal as the conversion attempt is lined up by Steve Backs, attempting to convert his own try. And no mistake about it, so only 2 points the difference and 14 minutes left. And so this match is open again. Who would have believed it? With 2 men down, Redcliffe fighting back to 12-10, but can they get up there into the scoring area and get ahead again? Seems almost impossible. Least to play it back. Beatson. He's been an inspiration. Benson. Great tackle by Miles. He's been everywhere in defence today. Abbott. Vic Ty. Beatson. Lease. Ty. Holmes. Cherry. Ground a little bit loose there. Still Cherry unable to get going as he accelerated. 5 metres short of halfway. Part. Beatson. was going to throw it to Lees. You could see Beatson's mind almost ticking over then. He saw Lees was in front of him and didn't throw the forward or offside pass. Last tackle. Watson is caught. He's lost the ball, so it's play on. Neil Moy. Big Ty pulls him down, and then Peter Lees almost pulls his head off. Camberus. Scott. Almost casually, like a game of touch football. Just about lost it, but he's got it between his legs. Camberus. Mins has outstripped the first tackle, but Bax has got him a lovely tackle.
Great work from Bax, really hit Mins hard. Mins is not real healthy either, and neither is Nat Lehman after missing Mins, but possession so vitally important now. 12 minutes to go. Redcliffe need the ball to have any chance at all.
Well, that's great football. That cover defence, the winger streaking down the sideline, fullback lining him up and taking him classically low. And the three-man scrum gets the ball back to Nat Lehman. It's Bax. Now dies a boy. They breed him tough up north. Tie. Well, Redcliffe must be a fit side, I'll say that. 11 men against 13. Beatson's pass has been touched by a Wynnum Manly hand. It's 6 to go. They've retained possession through Bob Abbott. Lees. Good pass. Big Tie. Looked at Nat Lehman for a second, but wisely held on. Saunders there with a bear hug tackle to stop Lehman. Part. Beatson. Lees. Still gets it away. He's found Bax. And Bax still going. What a big game this fella's had, replacing Bunny Pearce. 8 metres short of halfway. Abbott. And Beatson pushes him in the back. Says, get going, son, I'm with you. He's lost the ball, though. And Beatson makes the tackle on David Green. He's hurt. So back live again. After that injury, David Green's okay. That's Duncan. Scott. Seaton. Zillman. Good tackle made by Abbott. Plays it forward. He's not marked. Mark Zillman gets the dump. 15 metres inside Redcliffe's half. 10 minutes to go in the game, and Wynnum Manly lead 12-10. Moy. Last tackle. Green, Saunders, Camberus. And would you believe that Newcastle is leading the Frenchman 29-0 at this stage? The Frenchmen play 3 matches in Queensland, North Queensland in Townsville on the 12th of July, Wide Bay at Nambour on the 15th, and the second test here at Lang Park on the 18th. Cherry. Lees. Oh, bad pass from Peter Lees, but it's like basketball. The advantage rule really interpreted loosely there by the referee Eddie Ward, although it was quite within the rules. Watson. Holmes has a look one way, decides to run himself and throws a terrible pass, picked up by Steve Bax. Redcliffe are all out on the right-hand side of the field, stretched out nice and deep. That's where it goes. Part. Beatson on the inside. Lees. He's got a half break. Beautifully done by Peter Lees. Getting it back to Colin Part. Found Benson. Gone straight over Saunders. Cherry. He has Lehman unmarked and couldn't get the pass away. Great attack. Benson trying to get the Wynnum players off. Now he gets it. Tie. This is great stuff from the Dolphins. 1 to go. Now what will Beatson do? Part. There's the bomb. Not a bad one. A little bit short. Scott knocked it forward. And oh, Bobby Abbott had it and lost it. Perhaps Colin Scott needs those contact lenses. He's complained about having poor eyesight and he just can't take the high ones.
Well, Bobby had a great chance there to recover, and even if he didn't go very close to scoring himself. Possession that once again was so important, and Redcliffe really could have used it. They've got it.
Bax has beaten his man almost. Colin Scott desperately hanging on, just as well those jerseys are well made. Loman's going to have a go himself. Only 2 metres short. The fans going berserk here. Chris Holmes wants support on the right. He's over the line but pushed back. Now Nat Lohman at the dummy half. Ty still got the pass back through the feet of Bob Abbott. So they've lost about 15 metres. Part Beatson. It's found Peter Leese. Back to Holmes. He's caught by French. And there's the arm raised. 1 to go. Leese. Oh, that's going to be way too long. What else could they do, though?
Well, the idea was right. Peter Leese, not a recognised kicker of the ball, and poor kick, and relieved a lot of pressure there for Wynnum Manly. I said around about 20 minutes ago that I felt that Redcliffe had an absolute nil chance of winning this match. Well, now they're in with a real chance. It's been a terrific effort by Redcliffe, and really a great performance by the players. And once again, Wynnum Manly relaxing. Once they get good leads, they tend to relax, and you cannot afford to relax. Rugby league's an 80-minute game, and Wynnum Manly are learning the lesson the hard way.
Remember back on the 12th of April here at Lang Park against Souths when Beatson was sent off, 28 minutes into the first half, and yet Redcliffe won the game against Souths 22 points to 13, 1 man down. Well, they're 2 men down. They've had 2 players sent off, Bob Jones in the first half in the 30th minute and Webb sent off in the 57th minute, and yet they're only 2 points down. Wynnum Manly are really struggling to try and get on top of these determined Dolphins. Bullock, Saunders, Duncan. Oh, crunching tackle. Beatson, that was. Miles.
Once again, Wynnum Manly being contained inside their own quarter, and if ever a player has or should have played his way back into an Australian side, it's Arthur Beatson. A superhuman performance by Beatson, and if the selectors think he can't go 80 minutes, if they think he's not hard enough, then they should have been here today. Unfortunately, they weren't, because Beatson's had a great one. Let's hope they hear about it, because he deserves to be picked, the first front rower pick for Australia when the side is picked tonight.
Daryl Jenner and Glenn Hopner are warming up on the sideline, and there's going to be a couple of changes made in the Seagull forward pack in a couple of minutes' time. And that's a tribute to this tenacious Redcliffe forward. I won't say forward pack, what's left of it. Forward foursome. Touched. Restart the tackle count. A couple of metres inside Redcliffe's half. Seaton. Des Morris deciding to call on the fresh players with 5 minutes to go. 4 now. Camberas. French. Miles. Wynnum aren't really using the full width of the field. I feel they should be spreading a bit wider. That's a lovely pass from Duncan. Milmoy. Here's the hopeful pass inside. French got a hand to it, but knocked it down. Knocked on. Although Harry Minns thought he was in.
Just
now, here come the 2 new players.
An indication of the match. With only 3 minutes to go, we find not only 2 new players coming on, but Wynnum Manly still electing to throw the ball around with only 2 points in the match and 3 minutes to go. It just shows you how much Wynnum Manly have been under pressure for the whole of this second half, and really they're in desperate states. They realise they're going backwards, and they almost realise that to win the match they've got to score some more points.
Right,
and
so the
Redcliffe also making a replacement. Vic Ty being replaced, and Beatson taking this opportunity now to make his replacement while the stoppage in play is taking place.
Right, Bullock and Zillman have gone off, and the replacements in 14 and 15. 14 is Daryl Jenner, who's gone into the front row, and Glenn Hopner in 15 is in the second row, or the other way round.
Bloxall coming on for Vic Ty.
So we'll sort them out as they come into the picture. 4 minutes to go in the game. And this is Boxall, who played the reserve grade game, number 19 jersey. And it's a Redcliffe ball. Backs. Beatson. slipped it back to Boxall, who's lost it. Knock on to be played. So scrum.
Well, Redcliffe certainly with the licence to do whatever they like with the ball, although they're inside their own quarter, they must throw it around, and Beatson's the only man that can win it for Redcliffe at this stage. I feel it's a Beatson pass must be the one that wins the game.
Glenn Hopner is at loose head prop, and Daryl Jenner's in the second row on this side. Part. He's parted them all right. He's gone straight through. Cherry has got 3 supporters outside, couldn't get the pass. Might go there this time. Holmes. Oh, hit so hard the ball popped into the hands of Daryl Jenner. Put down by Park. The fresh player calling for the ball. But instead Green goes in his own. So Hopner comes into dummy half. Miles playing more like a second rower. Gene Miles just inside the quarter now. It's Green. Isn't he running hard? Very fired up in this game, David Green. Duncan will go on his own. He's bullocked his way towards the line. He got it down. Yes, it's a try. And that should be the clincher. With only 2 minutes to go, Ray Duncan scores the 5th try for Wynnum Manly, and they lead 15-10.
Well, Redcliffe, no need to hang their heads because it was a great effort, really. They hang in their game, Lee, but Duncan, a charge from the dummy half, and it was finally Wynnum Manly tightening up the game, running from dummy half a few times. And Redcliffe's strength has just been completely sapped. Abbott, Holmes and Batts unable to stop him. Good work from Duncan to reach out and get the ball across, because he was eventually driven backwards.
Well, they've yet to convert any try so far, but they've done it this time, and that's just when they need it. 17 points to 10 to Wynnum Manly. Glenn Hopner takes the kick off, and with only seconds left in the game, your comments, Dave.
Well, Peter, there's a saying in rugby league and in many sporting circles, you can't do any more than win, and Wynnum Manly have won the day today. They won the Woolies trophy, and that can go on their on the trophy board, because Wynnum Manly haven't won many trophies in their past, and one of the most relieved men in Brisbane surely must be Des Morris, because they've had to sustain a great attack here from Redcliffe. Redcliffe with 12 men, an admirable performance by Redcliffe, but really Wynnum Manly have won the day, and you can't do any more than that. For Wynnum Manly, Colin Scott once again has been dangerous. This little fella from the base of the scrum's been a little tiger. Also in defence he's done well as Terry Saunders. Camburas once again has been a real support for Wynnum Manly. He's a great link man, a good architect. But Redcliffe with 12 men, well, you can't deny them. Ray Duncan also had a good game, and Wynnum Manly have held on to win. Let's face it, they have scored 5 tries to 2, but they had Redcliffe with 2 men down, and Redcliffe certainly not disgraced at all in this match this afternoon.
So Wynnum do it without Des Morris. It's been a long while between drinks. The last time they won a President's Cup final was back in 1959, and now they've done it by beating Redcliffe 17 points to 10.
The ABC Winfield Try Award of $100 this afternoon goes to Trevor Benson, the young centre come 5'8", created this try for Steve Backs. It's not easy to set up a try in a man-for-man situation, but with 2 men down, it's almost impossible. So Benson gets $100 and a worthy winner.
12-5 the score. Converted try would make it 12-10. So Redcliffe not out of it yet. Bobby Abbott. Cart. Beatson. Benson. There's the runner. He's found Backs, and Backs goes over underneath the post.